Wiswell. This is Teaching with Mrs. Wiswell, and I have another haul video for you. This time is all books that I've gotten either at the bookshop, through Amazon, at Goodwill. I get a lot of my books at Goodwill. I've had great luck. There's like 3 of them that I frequent, and I usually leave with a bag full of books, and I never pay more than $1. Although I did pay more than $1 on a couple of these today because they're sets of books in the wrapper. So we'll just jump right into it. The first thing I want to share is I got a set of a series of unfortunate events, and they're all hardcover copies, 1 through 12. I didn't have the whole set, but I had some of the soft back ones, and my kids really like reading them. So when I saw this set, I was like, I need to have it. And I just think it'll look great on display on my bookshelf. And so these look great. And I also wanted to tell you a little bit about how I organize my books. These ones have already been organized, labeled. And so if it's my personal book, it gets my name on it and a pink piece of masking tape. So I know at a glance that I own that book. So if I were ever to leave the school, I would know what books were mine. 95% of the books in this classroom are mine. However, I did get a book budget this year, so there's going to be some books that aren't mine, so they won't get my name on them. They're stamped with the school information. I'm going to put the pink masking tape on it and put 3rd grade on it, so if I lend the books to another class, they make their way back to me. I also, on chapter books that aren't a series, let me see if I can find one. I don't have one handy, but I put the Avery sticker. I got it off for Teacher Pay Teacher. It's just a colored sticker. You print it on Avery labels, like dress labels, and it has the author's first letter of the last name. And so I'll show you my library in another day when it's not buried. But so kids know exactly where to put the book back. I do not sort by reading level. We do the 5-finger rule and how they can read it. If there's too many hard words, it's probably too hard. If it's more than 3 difficult words, it's probably too hard. If they can read 2 words, it's probably just right. If they can read every word, it's probably too easy. But I don't want them limited by I want them to enjoy reading, and I want them to push themselves. So I find that having my library set up, I did have it leveled, but now it's basically by genre and author's last name. So for instance, I have a lot of a series of unfortunate events that wouldn't get an author because it has its own bin. Babysitter's Club has its own bin. Bad Guys has its own bin. Diary of a Wimpy Kid has its own bin. So it doesn't get put back on the shelf. The letters are there so the kids can reshelf them. I don't sign out books. Kids take three books at a time, really, depending on what reading level they are. And they can book shop once a week. And maybe I've lost a couple books along the way, but to me, it's not worth the hassle of having a checkout system or a scanning system, or most books don't go home. Sometimes they ask if they can bring it home, and I say fine. Their library books go home, but if they're really enjoying a book and they want to take it home, it's a risk I'm willing to take for their love of reading. So without further ado, so I have, like I said, the 12 books for a series of unfortunate events, and I just loved like how awesome, like the bindings are. They're such great quality. These were $1 at the Goodwill. So we have those ready to be shelved. Let's see, also from the Goodwill, I do have a lot of Magic Tree House. I don't have them all, but I like to have duplicates of the Magic Tree House because it's a pretty popular series in my classroom. So there's 4 books in each set. It retails for $23.96 and I paid $7 for it. So I couldn't pass that up. So I'm excited for those. And again, those will just get my name and a pink sticker. They won't get the binding because they have their own bin. Wish by Barbara O'Connor. I think I already have this in my read aloud section, but I'll put this one on the shelf for the kids. 95 cents. And this would obviously get an O on the bottom spine. And so some of my books are labeled, are leveled, because that's how I did it beforehand. So the pink tape I would have put, like for this one, I probably would have put a U or something. But so sometimes the kids they are leveled and they'll be like, I'm reading an M, and they're really like reading a K. But there's some wiggle room. And if it's a graphic novel, or if they can do it. At least it's my experience. My picture books and my mentor texts, I tend not to let the kids touch. I put them on display and they do look at them, but they don't go in their book boxes. They can use them during a reading time, and then they get put back on a different part of the library. And those are alphabetical by author last name. So we have Purple, Green, and Yellow by Robert Munsch, one of my favorite authors, $1. Sideways Arithmetic from Wayside School, $1. Sideways Stories from Wayside School. I might have multiple copies of this, $1. Miss Holly is Too Jolly, $1. Bailey's School Kids, Skeletons Don't Play Tubas. Interesting that this says $2 because I know I paid $1 for it. So I don't know what that's all about. The Funniest Kid in the World. I don't know, $1. The Homework Machine. I have a couple copies of this, but it's pretty popular, $1. Stick Dog. I think I already have this one. I think this is the original one. So it's okay. I don't mind if I have repeats. Actually, what I just recently did is, because my library was so full, is I took out a lot of the duplicates I had and I sold them on a teacher's resale page, and I sold them $1 a book because I never really pay more than $1 a book, except for one bag where you'll see where I went a little crazy. But I just want the books in the hands of students, and if I can help another teacher out, that's awesome. And then they ship media mail so that it doesn't cost a lot to ship them, and a lot of people bought like 30 books at a time. So it didn't take a lot of my time. I just pull the books and ship them off. So that was kind of a good way. And then I get to buy new books or new supplies, and it was kind of a win-win. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This is a hardcover, so it was $2. So those all have to be processed. I signed up for the Amazon Book Club for kids, and what that is they send you 2 books a month, and you can pick from like 6 books, or you can have it done randomly. I usually look to see what books they're sending me, but I've gotten some good ones, and it's opened my eyes to some authors and series that I might not otherwise have known about. I've done it for 2 months. And the first month I got Roscoe Riley Rules #1. And this is by Catherine Applegate, which I believe is the same author as The One and Only Ivan. I'm not sure. I'm almost positive. But this is a great book. It's, you know, probably a level M, I would think. But it's a hardcover. I think the book club is $18, maybe $19. And then I also got Junior Monster Scouts by Joe McGee. The Monster Squad. I haven't read it, but I know it'll be a favorite because it's about monsters, and it's just a cute story. So I put the age in as if I was getting it for my child, which I could be getting it for my daughter. And so I put in age 8, and it picks the books based on that age group. The second month I got Franny K. Stein, A Mad Scientist, Bad Hair Day. I think this is number 8 in the series, and I actually ended up buying a bunch of these because I think they're going to be really popular, and they're easy reads. So, and it was the teacher's pick, so I went through and ordered a bunch more of these, so we'll see those coming up. And then this is really cool. This is by Neil Armstrong. And Rocks Remember and Bach Remembers More Than Most, and it's all about rocks and the earth and how the earth came to be. So I thought that was a really good book, so I'm excited to use this in our space unit. So those all need to be processed. One of our favorite series in 3rd grade is the What Was or What Is or Where Was or Who Was series. They devoured it last year. So I'm curious to see if my new group will love it as much. But I have quite a few of them. I ended up getting What Was the Plague? Who is Dale Earnhardt Jr. and What is Climate Change? So they love these books. I love these books because they're informative, they're great nonfiction books, and they have pictures inside them, like realistic pictures. And like I said, the kids just really enjoyed them. So that was a good series that we had. A couple of books that I picked up for back to school off of Amazon is Back to School Rules. School's in session. When it comes to surviving school, Percy's at the head of the class. If you can follow his 10 simple rules, making the grade will be a piece of cake, and school will be a lot of fun. But there's more to school than showing up on time and staying awake in class. If you have any doubts, Percy also shows exactly what not to do. No spitballs, no running in the halls, no bouncing off the ceiling, no crazy scheming. See what other trouble and tips Percy has in mind. So I just thought this was a great little fun story about the rules of school. So I got that. I have so many back to school books, but I love to read aloud, even to my 3rd graders, because they love to hear a story. And then I got this one, Just Ask. Be different, be brave, be you. Each of us grows in our own way. And I got this because I really wanted to teach a lot about empathy and, you know, kindness and what it means to be a friend. And not everybody has to be your best friend, but we're all classmates. So this says Sonia and her friends are planting a garden, and each one contributes in his or her own way. Raphael has asthma and sometimes has to stay calm so he can breathe better, which gives him time to paint beautiful rocks for the garden. Anthony uses a wheelchair to get around and can move super fast, directing the group. Anna has a stutter and prefers to listen so she knows just how to plant each flower. All of the friends are different, but they all have one thing in common. They like to ask questions and learn about one another. So, and the illustrations are just beautiful. So I thought that was a good book that we can all be different, but we all can play a part and we all have an important role, especially in this classroom. And then I got some fun books that I know the kids love. I'm not sure where I got these. I actually think I might have got them at the Christmas tree shop, but I'm not sure. My Haunted House. Another for the What Is, Who Was series. What is Lego? They're gonna love that one. What is Nintendo? What was the Titanic? Which I think this is a duplicate, but that's okay. And I think this is a duplicate as well. Who was Walt Disney? You know, I don't have an inventory of my books, and I have thousands of books. So I really should, because I buy duplicates, but I usually just give them to the second grade teacher. I got a couple Unicorn Academy books. Those were pretty popular last year. And the Pet Rescue Adventures, I got The Puppy Who Couldn't Sleep and The Perfect Kitten. And then this was a pretty cool book, I thought. It is The Magnificent Makers, How to Test a Friendship. And they are basically in a magical makerspace. And I have a makerspace in my classroom. It's on a cart, and we get to do it usually on Friday afternoons. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I don't know how it comes to be, but they probably, I don't know, we'll find out. I'm sure someone will read it to me. Let's see here. These books are where I went a little bit crazy and bought them, but know your audience. And I feel like these are going to be popular with my incoming third graders. So these are popular with everybody. Weird But True, the National Geographic, and this is the sports edition. I have someone in mind for this one. Weird But True, the Ocean edition. Weird But True, number 10, 350 Outrageous Facts. Weird But True, Food. Weird But True, Dinosaurs. Weird But True, number 3, 350 Outrageous Facts. And I think I have 1 and 2 right here. So I must have 8 and 9 already. Weird But True, number 2. And Weird But True, number 1. Those are just fun short reads. They can kind of like pull them out during transition times and things like that. And the like 4 that I have, they devoured last year. And the bindings are kind of coming through on them. So I'm going to see if I can get them reinforced, but yeah. Oh, I have more Weird But True. Weird But True, number 9. Weird But True, number 8. And Weird But True, number 7. All right, what do I have here? This was a new to me series, and I think there's only 2 of them out. The Invincible Girls Club. It's by Rochelle Alpine, and I just like girl power, and that Invincible Girls Club sounds like girl power. Home Sweet Forever Home. It's about some pets, it looks like. And this one says Art with Heart. So I thought those might be good ones. And I really wish I had this series last year, because I had a student that loved kittens and cats. And this is called Kitty. Girl by Day, Cat by Night, Ready for Adventure. It's by Paula Harrison, and it's an easy read, and it's probably, I don't know, maybe an L. Maybe an M. Again, doesn't matter here. So there were 6 of those. So I like to have a series because they get involved in the characters, and they want to know more. And so I like to have them on hand. You know, there's times that I'm like on Amazon ordering the sequels to books because they get so involved in the story. Let's see. I got some Amelia Bedelia books because my daughter loves them, and I had Amelia Bedelia like easy readers, but these are the chapter books, and I think they'll be popular with the girls or the boys, whoever wants to read them. The Notebook of Doom. I really like this publisher, Branches. The publisher I think is Scholastic, but they're called Branches book, and you can see here, like it looks like that. My pink's over it, but they're just really great short reads. Not too drawn out, and oh, there it is, Branches right here. So I got these, The Notebook of Doom, Chomp of the Meat-Eating Vegetables, Rise of the Balloon Goons, Day of the Night Crawlers, Attack of the Shadow Smashers. I have a couple friends that say they don't like to read, so I'm really looking for books that are going to be the hook for them and are going to get them to actually like to read, because they're going to read, but I'd like them to read something that they enjoy. And so when I was looking for books, I was looking for books that I thought maybe might spark an interest. This one is also from Branches, and I don't know if it's more than one, but it's Pets Rule. Meet Ember. He's just been adopted by the Chin family. Ember is no ordinary dog. He thinks he is an evil overlord and wants to rule the world, but his plans for destruction are ruined when he learns that the neighborhood is already ruled by a mean squirrel named Masher. Does Ember have what it takes to build a kingdom and rule the world? So, I don't know, that says one on it. I don't know if there's more. It doesn't appear to be. I know they read a lot of Percy Watson in 2nd grade. So I got these books, Tales from Deckawoo Drive, which is by the author, Kate DiCamillo, of Percy Watson, and it has some of the same characters in it, but it's a chapter book. So I thought these would be a good story for some of the kiddos that I know liked those back then. And I have a lot of Percy Watson books too, because they still read them in 3rd grade. Again, with the kitten books, my little sweet girl, I feel like I failed her by not having these last year. But this is Adventures in Fosterland, Kitten Lady, written by Hannah Shaw. So those look fun. And then I have a lot of the Babysitters Club, which was like my favorite series, but I feel like I was in 4th or 5th grade when I read it. I have a lot of 3rd graders that read it and read it fluently and comprehend it. But I thought for the beginning of the year, before maybe they break into the Babysitters Club, I got the Babysitters Club Little Sister. And they just seem, they're much shorter. And I thought they would be a good introduction to the Babysitters Club. Or if they like the Babysitters Club, they'll probably like these. So I got those. And then I picked up some picture books, which are always my favorite to buy. I love a good picture book. And I plan to do a lot of teaching with mentor texts, which would be a picture book. Or it doesn't have to be, but it's going to be for me this year, to drive home certain points and to pull vocabulary from, and to really take my writing lessons to a new level. So the year we learned to fly, and now that I look at this, I feel like I have it, but it could be that my daughter has it. So there's that too. Here we are, notes for living on planet Earth. And this one, I think it was the illustrations that got me. It's just beautiful. Stone Soup, I know, is a specific one that I bought as a mentor text. Cinderella will be great for our fairy tale unit. I have a lot of fairy tales, but I don't have this particular copy of Cinderella. So we'll do that. The Pout Pout Fish, because who doesn't love the Pout Pout Fish? And the Worry Worry Whale. Worry Worry Whale. Say that 3 times fast. And then the original Pout Pout Fish, which I was shocked I didn't have, but now I do. I got this one. It just was kind of cute. Being a Dog, A Tale of Mindfulness. I don't know if these are going to be backwards when you look at them. I don't know. Kind, a book about kindness. I thought this was really powerful. If someone is frightened or worried, we can offer to hold their hand. If they're in trouble, we can see if we can help. Just all things we can do that are just easy to be kind. Oh, this one, how to apologize. So you don't know this, you have no reason to know this, but social emotional learning is my jam. And I love to read books that drive home that. And I do SEL throughout my units, and you know, I work it into writing and reading and math. Not everyone's good at math, not everyone likes math, but we can do it. And then I have SEL carved out in my schedule. So we usually read a book and talk about our feelings and talk about the zones of regulation and that. So I thought this was a great book on how to apologize. Everyone makes mistakes. Here's a straightforward and laugh out loud guide to saying you're sorry. So I'm excited to read that one. I like this one. This is by the author of Can I Be Your Dog? And this is this your class pet? And unfortunately, I wanted a class pet this year, but I was told no. And although I'm very disappointed, I can understand why. And there's been some compromises made. So we're gonna do other things to make up for it that won't require us to have a class pet. And you know, the more I thought about it, it was gonna be a rabbit, and my husband doesn't like caged pets, and I get it. And it would be in its cage a lot because I can't have a bunny running around with, you know, 28-year-olds. So I do understand. It was going to be donated by my previous family, and it was just a little thing. And I thought it would teach responsibility and kindness and respect, and you know, they could earn privileges to take care of the bunny, but it didn't work out that way. But that's why I bought that book, but it'll still be a good book. Stick and Stone, Best Friends Forever. And then this was recommended by our librarian. And for our fairy tale unit, it's Endlessly Ever After. Pick your path to countless fairy tale endings. So this is pretty cool because it has a lot of fairy tales in it. So Grab your basket and your coat, put on some walking shoes. Turn the page and then begin. Which tale will you choose? So, enrage a very, very vengeful pig. Find a sleeping maiden fair. Waste away in a sticky licorice cage. Lose your cake to 7 sad dwarfs. Discover gold at the rear end of a wild goose chase. And maybe, just maybe, save yourself and the day. So this looks like it might be a curious read and a different twist on it, because they always write their own endings, or they not necessarily an ending, but they change their fairy tale to make it, you know, original, and that might give them some ideas or spark some creativity. Let's see. I'm a little bummed this came bent from Amazon, but you know, it's a brand new book and I hate that it's already bent. But I'll just stick it in with the other books and it'll probably flatten out. But this is the Desk Fairy book. And I got this because the Desk Fairy visits us quite frequently, because I am a little obsessive about clean desks. And she comes sometimes when they're at home. She comes sometimes when they're at PE. She comes sometimes when they're at recess. And sometimes she forgets to come when she says she might be coming. But this says, late at night when you are tucked in bed real tight, something happens that is very cool. A special visitor comes to your school. It's the Desk Fairy. The Desk Fairy will encourage your students to keep their desks clean by teaching them that it's very rewarding and worthwhile to keep their things organized. This cute book was written by a psychologist, Connie J. Schneus, and the colorful illustrations were done by her daughter, Paige. So I think this is going to be adorable, and the illustrations are so sweet. So that's going to drive home my Desk Fairy, and all they get is an eraser. But they'll do anything for erasers. I figured out third graders will do anything for erasers. Oh yeah, we talked about this already, because I got the Franny K. Stein Mad Scientist in my Amazon box, so I bought the box set. So this is 1 through 7, and I got number 8. And I think there's a number 9, or it's a number 9 that's coming out. But I bet these are popular. Will You Be the Eye in Kind? Written by Julia Cook. Julia Cook does a fabulous job, and I probably have multiple books in here by her. Her social emotional learning books are great, and they just teach great morals, and she puts into words difficult topics that sometimes need to be talked about, and she does a nice job. That Rule Doesn't Apply to Me by Julia Cook. Everyone thinks that rule doesn't apply to them. Isn't that true? Oh, this one I got, it just looked kind of interesting. And I think that it's funny how things come to be. This is called Mistakes That Worked. Dozens of products and everyday household items had surprisingly haphazard beginnings. Scotchgard came about when a scientist spilled part of an experiment on her shoe. Potato chips were first cooked by a chef who was furious when a customer complained that his fried potatoes were not thin enough. Coca-Cola, Silly Putty, X-rays, and many other familiar things have fascinating stories behind them. 40 of these unusual tales, along with hilarious cartoons and weird, amazing facts, make up this fun-filled book. So I just thought this would be cute, like to do at the end of the day. I could just pull out and pick a story, like how popsicles came to be. So I got that, and here's number 9. I thought I had it. I thought it was out. The Jelly Donut Difference, Sharing Kindness with the World. This is a great book, and this is by Maria Dismonde, and she does a nice job too with SEL and social issues and values, and This is a fun book. I didn't have it last year, but we watched it on YouTube and then did some activities with it. And it's basically, it's about a brother and sister. They don't always get along. Sometimes they're downright mean to each other. And then it talks about ooey gooey jelly donuts and the power of kindness, caring, and generosity. Find out if Leah and Dexter will ever learn to get along. Bite into the power of paying it forward by adding the jelly donut difference to your family's home collection or classroom library. So I'm excited to have this book. This is another one by Julia Cook, The I in Integrity. You need to do the right thing even when no one's watching. Very important to learn that. But It's Not My Fault by Julia Cook. Taking responsibility. This looks pretty fancy. This is stuck to my finger. This is Whose Habitat Is That? And we're gonna do a lot of work with habitats. So, oh, this is a really intricate book. So this will be ruined in a day that I put it out, so it will probably be a teacher book because this will get all ripped. But we're gonna talk about habitats and where animals live and if they can survive in different habitats. And we're gonna get an ant farm. And my kids were obsessed with ants last year. They would collect them on the playground and put them in little containers and keep them as pets, and it kind of grossed me out and it kind of made me feel bad for the ants. So I don't know if an ant farm is any better, but I thought the one I'm going to get has greenery that you plant and a queen ant, and it's like gel instead of sand, and they feed off that. So that's a pretty cool thing we're going to do this year. I got to order those closer to September because I can't ship in the heat. And we're gonna do caterpillars into butterflies, and we're gonna do chicks. So I'm very excited. So those were all the compromises that were made for me not getting a class pet. This is a book called My Feelings Are a Hurricane, and it's just about losing control of your emotions, and we've all been there. And especially little kids, sometimes they have really big emotions, and it must feel like a hurricane. Sometimes it can feel like difficult emotions happening all at once are too hard to deal with. They swirl and clash together, making you feel powerless to the feelings. Told in a playful rhyme, My Feelings Are a Hurricane helps put words to the feelings and gives children coping skills to calm their hurricane. I'm all about giving kids coping skills. I have Ants in My Pants by Julia Cook. I thought this was just a funny thing, how to control your wiggles and be the boss of your ants. And I'm doing a lot for that this year with my alternative seating. I have wobble stools and yoga balls, and so really trying to make them as successful as possible, because it's hard to sit at a desk all day, especially, kids that are ADHD or maybe not even, diagnosed, or just, it's a long day just to sit in a row and quiet in your desk. So I'm gonna try and embrace that and see if it helps with behaviors. The Big Feelings book for children, mindfulness moments to manage anger, excitement, anxiety, and sadness. So those are all big feelings that we all feel and that kids have to learn to manage. We as adults have learned coping skills. I sometimes have to count to 5. I need a minute. I take a restroom break. Help kids get through big feelings using mindfulness. It's normal for kids to get feelings so big that they're hard to manage. This book will show kids how to use mindfulness to better deal with their feelings. They'll find lots of kid-friendly exercises that can help them work through their tough emotions and feel happier. So there's exercises in here. There's things that I can do. There's things that I can't do. What to do when you're feeling anxious. So that was going to be a helpful book. I have this, I Am the Solar System. I have I Am the Earth, and I think I ordered I Am the Sun. So I just wanted this because we're going to do the solar system this year. My Fantabulous Brain, Learning Helps Me Grow. So this is all about growth mindset. Another good one about growth mindset is Bubblegum Brain. I already own that, so you're not going to see that today, but that's a great book about growth mindset and having a bubblegum brain that stretches and is moldable, as opposed to a brick brain that doesn't stretch and mold and learn new things. Oh my goodness, I have so many books. This is going to be a long video again. Case Closed, Mystery in the Mansion. We do a big unit on mysteries, and some of the books I have for it, like the Bailey School Kids, and what's the other one I have? I don't know. They're just kind of old. So I wanted some new mystery books. This is a little intense, but it's a big, thick book. But someone will do it. Someone will read it, and someone will enjoy it and get through it, I'm sure. Mistakes That Worked, The World's Familiar Inventions and How They Came to Be. That's very similar to that other book I had. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Oh, but I just opened to a page about Post-it notes. I think I knew Post-it notes were a mistake, but well, I'm not going to read it all to you, but Post-it notes were a mistake. Spectacular Stories for Curious Kids. Discover, wonder, explore, imagine. You have found the book that is wild whirling tornado of breathless fascination. This book, a gift for kids who revel in reading, or even those who find it tedious, is a most extraordinary, gratifying, darling affair, teeming with life and vivid stories, abundantly complete with the diverse and unique marvels for the young mind, the whole forming a blazing vision of breathtaking splendor that will astonish, inspire, and capture the imagination of young readers everywhere. Each story is an adventure, each tale a discovery. So for those kids that, you know, just don't want to read, they don't have to read a lot, but they can read a short story. Lightning is no joke. Maybe that'll be the hook. I don't know. Another great one, I Choose to Try Again. Try not to say never. That brainwashes you to fail. It means that you won't have the chance to raise the victory sail. So that's an excellent one. I Can't Believe You Said That. Is this by Julia Cook? Yep, by Julia Cook. Basically, it's about a little boy whose mouth is getting him in trouble. A rude comment at school earned him a detention. An insensitive remark at home made his sister cry. He doesn't realize that his words are hurtful. He thinks he's just offering feedback. So his parents are there to teach him about using his social filter, which we all need to have. The Fascinating Science book, 500 Amazing Facts. So this is a pretty good one. And again, I don't care if kids are reading books about facts that are just short and they're not big chapters. If they're reading, if it's, that's what I want, you know, that's how you're going to get them to have a love of reading. I have some more of the Case Closed mystery series. I didn't realize how lengthy these were, but pick your path, crack the case. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Oh, this was a series that was requested to me on Move Up Day. And I had the second graders visiting with me, and they said, you know, oh, I love your library. And after they said, can I say Joe Mama? They said, do you have Claude, the evil alien warlord cat? And I had never heard of it. So I said, I don't. I wrote it on the whiteboard, and I looked on Amazon and I found it, and it's a series, and I don't know how many there are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about a cat that comes to Earth from an alien cat that comes to Earth, and I don't know, but they really wanted it. And again, if it's going to be the hook, that's fine with me. It looks like an easy read. And Claude is not your average cat. Sure, he has a soft fur and pointy ears, but don't let his feline cuteness fool you. He's an exiled emperor from across the universe with a hunger for battle and a thirst for revenge. He's cruel, he's cunning, he's brilliant, and he's about to become Raj's best friend. Raj had everything: a cool apartment in Brooklyn, 3 friends who lived in his building, and pizza and comics within walking distance. But when his mom got a job in Oregon and he was forced to move, all of that changed. It's only when his doorbell rings and he meets a furball of a cat that Raj begins to think that maybe his luck is turning around. So they asked, I delivered. Let's see. This is a great book, and we did this last year. Although I didn't have the book, we watched it on YouTube, and it's The Best Part of Me. And then I have an activity that goes with it where I take a picture of them. They pick the best part of them, and I take a picture and make it black and white. So some of them picked their eye, some of them picked their eyelashes, some of them picked their ears, some of them picked their back, some of them picked their legs, some of them picked their arms, some of them picked their hands, and then they write why that's the best part of them. So this is just beautiful. And it has the handwritten stories by the children. So I wanted that in my collection. The Day the Crayons Came Home. You probably are familiar with The Day the Crayons Quit, but this is The Day the Crayons Came Home. I've been dying for this book. Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. Stretch It, Shape It. This will go with growth mindset, which we'll do a lot in the beginning of the school year. Oh, I hope this is, oh no, this is Franny K. Stein number 10. So this must be the newest one because it's a hardcover. The Worst Day of My Life Ever by Julia Cook. He's having a rough day. He wakes up with gum stuck in his hair. It kind of reminds me of Alexandra in The Horrible, Terrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. But it, you know, you can relate to him and then figure out how to turn your day around. It doesn't, just because you're having a bad morning doesn't mean you have to have a bad day. You can always turn it around. This one I'm not familiar with, but I heard a lot of great reviews on it from other teachers. So it's What Should Darla Do? And I believe it's by the author, or it has something to do with that Danny book. I'm not familiar. What Should Danny Do? This is What Should Darla Do? And I love that on the back of it, it has one of those mirrors. And I have that same mirror outside my door. Well, not the same one, but I have that same mirror that lists all the things that they are. My book pile, I hope it doesn't topple over and spill my soda. All right, I have The Way I Feel. This is The Way I Act. Friendly, brave, considerate, curious, on the go. My actions show who I am now and how I want to grow. So how I act. That's really important. The sandwich swap. This was another one that I got that was recommended by other teachers on Instagram or YouTube or something. So it's a message for children and adults alike that we are never too young or too old to find courage to share ourselves with others and learn the value of friendship, love, understanding, and acceptance. So I'm excited for that one. I have an activity to go with it. This is another one of those interesting stories for curious kids. I have spectacular stories and then interesting stories. Want to impress your buddies at school? Need to think of something fun to do at Thanksgiving or Christmas? Want to learn a bunch of random facts about history, science, and the paranormal? So another one of those books. I choose to calm my anger. I think that's really important, that you can have control over your anger, you can calm it. So I'm gonna have some fun with that. I have some nonfiction books here. Earth's Moon, Tracking the Weather, Climate, People and the Planet, and Extreme Weather. And last but not least, I have another Claude, Evil Alien Emperor Cat. So this is number 6. Sounds like he maybe makes some progress. This was recommended by one of my students last year. How to Almost Ruin Your Summer. So I got that. I might read this before I put it out because I'm not sure. Oh, nope, it's age appropriate, but I sometimes like to read them just to make sure I know what I'm putting out there. So I got Caterpillar to Butterfly because we're going to be doing our caterpillars to butterflies, which I haven't done in a long time, so I'm excited to do that. This is another one from that science series, Habitats, which we're going to learn all about. Animal Homes, Butterflies for Kids. This is a pretty thick book. It tells all about how they become a butterfly, different kinds of butterflies, migration. Ants for Kids. National Geographic, The Great Migrations, Butterflies, which I think is a film. An interesting fact, this is by Laura Marsh, who is the sister-in-law to one of the teachers in our building, which is pretty cool. We did like a meet the author with her. She writes a lot for National Geographic. It's brave to be kind, and sometimes it is brave to be kind. Sometimes it's really hard to be the one that's not gonna go along with the rest of the people that are maybe making choices that aren't kind. So that is my book haul. So I am ready to start the new year with all these wonderful books. I don't know where I'm going to put them because my bookshelves are jam-packed, but I'll figure it out. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye.